elasticity. Third plasticity. Fourth one is hardness. The fifth one is brittleness. Sixth, the ductility. Seventh one, reliability. Eighth one, so stiffness or rigidity. Ninth one, resilience. And the tenth one, toughness. Tenth one, toughness. Okay. These are the important mechanical properties which are needed to understand the material under loading conditions. Okay? So, if you apply the load, how it is going to behave? Okay, so you must know it. The first one is strength. So, strength. Can you someone say what do you mean by strength? In your own words, you just elaborate. The strength is the ability of a material. Resist the deformation of the resistance. Okay. So, resist the rupture. Resist the rupture under various loads and stresses and various stresses. So that means if you apply the load, if you apply the force, it has to resist the rupture. That means it does not break down, it does not fracture. So up to that stage, whatever we're going to apply the load, it is going to sustain. So that is called as a strength. That is called a strength of the material. So second one is elasticity. Second one is elasticity. So elasticity is the ability of a material to regain its shape and size. To regain its shape and its size after removal of load. After removal of load. After removal of load. So let us take an example. So you have a bar, you have a metal bar. So if you apply the load here, 10 kilonewton, we apply 10 kilonewton. So now, if you consider its length before application of the load as 50 mm, okay? After application of load, the length is going to get 50.5 mm. 50.5 mm. Now, as you remove the load, it's going to come its original dimension. It's the original dimension. That is called as an elasticity. So next, plasticity. plasticity. So it is a property of a material by virtue of load, it undergo plastic deformation, undergo plastic deformation, and it does not regain it, and it does not regain its shape and size. Shape and size after removal of load. After removal of load. So let us take example. So if you apply the load, if it comes to original size, okay, gone for 30 kilonewton. If it has made changes, it has gone 0.5 mm, okay, 50.5 mm. After removal of this 30 kilonewton, so it does not come to its original shape and size. It does not come to original shape and size. So that property you can call it as a plasticity. The next one is hardness. What is the meaning of hard? What is the meaning of hard? What is the meaning of hard? Someone answer.
Resistance to surface deformation.
Pardon?
Resistance to surface penetration.
Resistance to surface
Penetration.
Okay. So hardness is a property of a material which resists the penetration, indentation, as well as scratch. Hardness, it is a property of a material resists the indentation, penetration, and scratch. So to know in the hardness, so to know the hardness, you need to conduct the hardness test using either using Vickers hardness test, Fresnel hardness test, or Rockwell hardness test. Okay. So normally it is measured in VHN and VHN. It is measured in VHN or VHN. So next we'll go for ductility. What is the meaning of ductility? Ductility meaning. Please rule number 28. Ductility ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು?
Don't know.
Pardon?
Don't know.
Don't know. ठीक है जी है ना?
No, sir.
So it is a property of a material. It can be reduced into thin cross section area. the cross-section areas under the action of tensile force. Under the action of tensile force before initiation of a fracture. Before initiation of a fracture over here. Okay? That is what it appears. For example, if we have an ingot here, okay? If we have an ingot, so if you just pull through this one with the help of mechanisms to reduce this cross-section area. To reduce this cross-section area. So now here the diameter is more, here the diameter is less. Clear? The next one is malleability. Rule number 32. What do you mean by malleability?
Yes, sir.
Malleability ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು?
Property of a material can be reduced to thin sheets under compressive loads.
Under
Compressive loads.
Okay. So it is a property of a material which can be made into thin sheets under the application of compressive load. Okay. Under the application of compressive load. So that means it should not extend in only one direction. It should extend in all directions. Okay. So best example is if you take an wheat, okay, wheat flour mixture with the water, and if apply ಮನ್ಯಾಗ ಚಪಾತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಚಪಾಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ so that is what an example for malleability. The property of a material which can be made into thin sheets made into sheets, okay, under application of compressive load. So otherwise it can define. So malleability is a property of a metal which can be uniformly deforms in all the direction under the application of the compressive load. Under the application of compressive. Right. So what is the next property? So once one, what do you note?
Stiffness.
Stiffness. Okay. So it is defined as the property of a metal which resists the deformation. Which resists the deformation under action of external loads. Okay? So resist the deformation under action of external loads. So this is what if you consider an component. Okay? If you apply the compressive load, so what happens? So because of compressive load, it tries to get the contraction. Okay. So now it's going to resist here. It's going to resist. It does not try to make it as a compressive one. So that property is called as an stiffness or rigidity. Stiffness or rigidity. Next one is the resilience. resilience. So it is defined as a property of a material which can absorb the energy, so due to external loads, which is going to relieve it. So that is what up to elastic limit, what is the energy it's going to absorb over the component or over the part. Okay. So because of external loads, that property is called as a resilience. So it absorbs the energy, on direction of external loads and relieves it. So it is limited to what up to elastic limit. Right? So next one is toughness. So I'll explain these two with the help of a stress strain diagram. I am going to come to this stress strain relationship for steel materials. We'll explain that one, and I'll notify what is the meaning of resistance and what is the meaning of toughness. So now toughness, it is the property of a material which is going to absorb the energy, up to the rupture point or up to the breaking point. So it absorbs the energy on direction of external load, up to the rupture point or breaking point. Rupture point of breaking point. Right? What else remains? Next one is brittleness. What is the meaning of brittle? Wood is brittle material or soft material?
Soft material.
Or ductile material? Wood is.
Brittle material, sir. Wood is brittle material.
If you compare glass with wood, which one is a brittle material?
Glass.
Glass is brittle material. Okay. So it shows that the physical formation before we to fracture or before we to make a failure. Okay. So it's a property of a material. It shows the negligible or less amount of plastic deformation under the action of external load. So the property of a material which shows less or negligible amount of plastic deformation the direction of load, right? Example, if you let us consider an the glass which is made up of a glass material, okay, and glass which is made up of a aluminum material. If you drop glass which is made from glass material from a 10 feet height, okay, what happens? ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅದ ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಸರಿನಾ ಅದನ್ನ 10 ಫೂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನೇಷನ್ ಯು ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 10 feet what happened to that glass and which the glass made from aluminum if you drop from 10 feet what happens
Glass from glass will break, sir, and glass from aluminum will
Change its shape.
reduce, changes
it
its
has
shape.
certain damage okay it will have a damage it's not going to break out that is what you just observed so little what it shows an negligible deformation okay negligible amount of plastic deformation under the action of load clear one more is there actually one more is so it is the property of a material which is going to carry the stress of low value under some load which is goes on varying with respect to the time it goes on varying with respect to the time so we'll study that one creep in fluctuating loads we'll study the creep right? So now let us move to the stress strain question for ductile material. Stress strain relationship for ductile material. So you are going to get this stress strain relationship under a standard tensile test procedure, okay, which is going to be performed over the universal testing machine by the preparation of a standard specimen. So let us go for the diagram here. Studied this one in strength of material as well as the material science and metallurgy lab also. Okay. So this is what the conduction of a standard tensile is. Okay. So to get the properties of a newly synthesized material or identified material. Okay. Synthesized material or you can go for any other new material. So what you have invented. Okay. So horizontal, we will going to get a strain and this is also called as a displacement or deformation. Load versus deformation diagram also. So load epsilon, okay, and here you are going to get a sigma. Now from O to A, you are going to get a straight line. From A point onwards, you go down the deflection with respect to the load. From point B, so deformation is a little bit rapid. Okay? Deformation is a little bit rapid, so you are going to get some sudden decrease in the load or some sudden decrease in the stress. So now from point C onwards, it gradually goes on increasing. So at point D, you have a maximum or ultimate load, and point D, you have a breaking load or rupture load. Okay? You have a breaking load or rupture load. So now how are you going to perform this one? So to perform this standard tensile test, need to prefer a specimen of circular cross section or maybe a rectangular cross section. Now the specimen has to be prepared based on the BIS standards, based on Bureau of Indian Standards. So let us consider, so it has gauge diameter D0 and it has gauge length L. It has gauge length L. So now the test is going to perform. So now the specimen is going to be held between two moving heads. One is fixed and another one is moving head. It is going to fix. Then a gradual load is applied. Gradual load is applied. Right? Now as the load is applied, you are going to get some deformation here. Deformation here. So now the specimen is attached with some extension meter. Extension meter. Now presently you have an computer-based universal testing machine. You are going to get the not directly. So here you need to note down the readings. Need to note down the readings. So here how much load you are going to apply and how many number of divisions that how many number of divisions it has been fixed. Just go on getting the readings. So now based on these readings you are going to get this diagram. Based on the readings you are going to get this diagram. Now let us notify the silent features. Let us notify silent features. So O to A, what it is? O to A, what type of limit it is? Rule number 24. Rule number 24, what type of limit it is? Rule number 36.
Sir,
ಏನು O to A ಯಾವ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಅಂತಾರ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಿಷ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಿರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ನಿಮಿಷ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿರಿ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದ, ಡಾಟಾಬೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದ. ಇವತ್ತು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಾತ್ರಿ. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬರೀ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಒಳಗ್ ಬರೋದು, ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಒಳಗ್ ಬರೋದು, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಿಳಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ. ಯಾವ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಅಂತಾರ O to A?
Proportional limits.
Proportional.
Proportionality limit. Okay. So this is called as a proportionality limit. And here comes the elastic limit. Here comes elastic limit. Here comes the elastic limit.
B, sir.
B. Now, B is the upper yield point. Upper yield point. So now here, you just observe, the elastic limit is going to come between the point A and B. Point A and B. So let us say go for A as A dash. Go for A dash. So now elastic limit is little more than the proportionality limit. Elastic limit is little more than the proportionality limit. Okay? So because of these two as a close observance, so what they have quoted, proportionality limit is equal to elastic limit. Some authors have been identified as elastic limit is equal to the proportionality limit because of the proportionality limit point and elasticity limit point are very close. So for that reason, they are going to say it is elastic limit is equal to the proportionality limit. But actual, look for the testing results. So the elastic limit is little above than the proportionality limit. Okay? So now B stands for upper yield point. B is the one upper yield point. C lower yield point. So now from point A dash onwards, so the plastic deformation starts. The plastic deformation starts. So So even though if you remove the load, so your specimen is not going to come into original shape and size. Now point B is called as the ultimate point. Ultimate point. Point B is called as the breaking point. Point B is called as breaking point. Okay. So this is what a stress strain diagram for mild steel. For mild steel, you don't think the stress strain diagram is the same for all type of materials. So because as their properties are entirely different, you are going to get a different shades of stress strain diagram. Clear? Okay. Now, if you consider for brittle materials, so you may get stress strain diagram. You may get stress strain diagram. So if you consider purely stainless steel, so you may get this type of stress strain diagram. So it's entirely different diagram. What I mentioned here, it is for mild steel. It's for mild steel. You got it? Now coming to the two mechanical properties, where you can identify two work stress strain diagram. So now point here. O to A is elastic limit. You can call the property elasticity because in this stage or between this any point from O to A, if you remove the load, it's going to come to its original shape and size. If you remove the load, it's going to come to its original shape and size. So now after point B, so it starts yielding. You are going to get a plasticity. You are going to get plasticity. So next, I said you are going to get two other properties here. That is what resilience and toughness. Suppose it is subjected to any loads, it's going to absorb the energy. It's going to absorb the energy. So the energy which is going to absorb up to the elastic limit, up to the elastic limit. So that is called as a resilience. That is called as a resilience. So now, what resilience? So in this case, if you remove the load, it is going to retract. That means it does not want to store the energy inside the component or inside the part. So the energy which is going to be stored up to this breaking point, it is called as a toughness. It's called as toughness, right? It's called as toughness or rigidity of toughness, or rigidity of toughness or moduli of toughness, right? Yeah. So once it has been reached the breaking point, so it goes on storing the energy up to the breaking point. That is what point E. That is what point E. So now area under which you are going to get what energy stored. It is what energy stored. So for example, if you want to calculate the CCCM up to elastic limit, is what 1 by 2. So stress into strain. Stress into strain. Right? So now we come to the some stress analysis. We come to the some stress analysis. You already have come across what is the meaning of stress, what is the meaning of strain, so what is the meaning of shear stress, and all those things. Now, to get the perfect stress, exactly what type of stress is going to subject it to because of external loads. You need to identify based on the applied load, as well as load direction and what is type of load, whether it is subjected to static load, whether it is subjected to casually applied load, whether it is subjected to variable loads. So based on those things, you need to analyze the stress. So now, to brief out the stress analysis, I will take one example. I will take an example of a crank and the shaft mechanism. Crank and shaft mechanism. So let's consider a lever crank. So it has some shaft here, mounted, okay, mounted, and it has a 1 feet here, which is going to carry the load, So now this is the distance from fixed position or from supported position to this point. Okay. Now this is the distance, okay, from this fixed position or supported. So let us go for this as an LV, length as vertical length. So let us just go for LH, right? So length in horizontal direction. So my aim is I need to find out either stress or dimension of the system. Let us go for I want to find out the dimension of this shaft. So they have given all properties of this shaft material as well as glue. For clarification purpose, I'll draw the sizes here also. So that's now you just think what type of stress you are going to get on this position. Let us go for this section as an XX. Okay? XX. So now observe the diagram and summarize what are the different type of stresses are going to act on the shaft, okay, at a position of XX. You have 2 minutes time. You have 2 minutes time. Any noted diagram? Every noted diagram. Think about saying what are the type of stresses going to occur over the section XX? Quickly. Quiz rule number 32
Yes, sir.
and 33.
Yes, sir.
What type of stresses you are going to get here? You are going to get a compressive stress, tensile stress, or it does not
Two
going
equal,
to. Pardon?
two equal and opposite portions are pushes on the shorter in length. That is called compression.
I don't want that. I want only what type of stresses you are going to get at this section X. Rule number 33. Whether you are going to get a simple stress, combined stress, shear stress, tensile stress, compressive stress.
Yes, sir. Compressive stress.
Compressive stress. Now load is applied here. Okay? Now this is what a load one. P. Okay? Your section is here. Now let us analyze here. Now, because of vertical distance, just look out. Because of vertical distance, so now what happened? It tries to oscillate. Okay? It tries to oscillate. Okay? So that means it's going to be subjected to turning moment. It's going to be subjected to turning moment. Clear? If it is subjected to turning moment, if it is subjected to twisting moment, what type of stress you are going to get?
Shear stress.
Pardon?
Torsional shear stress.
You are going to get a torsional shear stress. Okay. So now because of this one, you are going to get torsional shear stress. So now let us look out here. Now let us look out here. Now as it is fixed and it is placed with respect to some more. Yeah. Now this is a fixed position. Okay. So now it has been extended or it has been overhang by distance of LH. Right? It has been overhang by distance LH. So now if we apply the load here, what happens to this platter? Now, if this is a LH is what overhang distance. Okay. Now load is applied here. So what type of stress will occur? I think now it is more clear. Now what type of stress will occur?
Bending stress.
Bending stress.
Bending stress.
Bending stress.
Is going to subject you to bending.
Bending stress.
In a simple error way, you need to analyze the stresses. You need to analyze the stresses. Okay? So what is the time? So wait for 2 minutes. So we'll take attendance. Okay? So next class onwards, we'll start a problem. Okay. So you must have a calculator along with you. Already data handbook has been sent to you. That's what first chapter is sent to you, right? I think second chapter also sent. Working stresses has been sent or not?
No, sir.
You just check out in group which chapter has been sent.
First chapter.
First chapter has been sent.